Bob Dylan's cryptic lyrics, gravelly voice, and shifting personas made him a legend, but not everyone bought into the hype. While millions revered him as a poet and prophet, a surprising number of fellow artists saw something else entirely. A fraud, a plagiarist, or simply an overrated performer. These five famous figures didn't just dislike Dylan, they went public with their contempt. Number 5. Joni Mitchell, often compared to Dylan for her poetic songwriting and folk roots, never took kindly to the comparison. Over the years, she made her feelings crystal clear. She didn't just dislike Dylan's music, she distrusted the man behind it. To Mitchell, Dylan was the opposite of authentic. "He's a plagiarist," she once said. "His name and voice are fake. Everything about Bob is a deception." Where Mitchell poured raw emotion into her lyrics, she saw Dylan as hiding behind borrowed voices and constructed personas. In her view, Dylan wasn't evolving. He was performing a role. She didn't stop at musical critique. Mitchell took it personal, even claiming Dylan's breath stank. Her attacks weren't just about artistry, they reflected deep disdain. While critics paired them as kindred spirits, Mitchell rejected the comparison completely. To her, Dylan wasn't a peer. He was a symbol of everything she opposed: inauthenticity, pretense, and artistic dishonesty. Number 4. David Crosby respected Dylan's songwriting. After all, the Byrds' breakout hit, Mr. Tambourine Man, was a Dylan composition. Dylan's influence helped launch Crosby's career and reshape the musical landscape of the 1960s. But personal admiration didn't follow. In interviews, Crosby described Dylan as cold, distant, and evasive, someone who kept others at arm's length. "He doesn't let you in," Crosby said. "You'll ask him where he lives, and he'll say, 'You're looking at a man who has no home.'" For Crosby, who valued connection and camaraderie, Dylan's aloofness wasn't just an artistic quirk, it was a barrier. While Crosby openly acknowledged Dylan's genius, he seemed to long for something Dylan never offered: real human connection. Number 3. Chris Frantz, drummer for Talking Heads, was never shy about his musical opinions. But his disdain for Dylan seemed to boil over after reading Dylan's 2022 book, The Philosophy of Modern Song. In it, Dylan claimed that Elvis Costello and the Attractions were light years better than any other band of their era. A dig Frantz took personally. Frantz fired back on social media, calling Dylan out for dismissing his peers and dredging up a past insult. Dylan, he claimed, once told a friend of his to suck a D. Frantz's response was raw and personal. For him, Dylan's sweeping judgments weren't just critical, they were rude and dismissive of an entire era of musicians. Frantz respected Costello's band, but objected to the hyperbole and the insult. Dylan, in his view, had crossed a line from provocateur to arrogant icon, oblivious to the impact of his words on artists who once looked up to him. Number 2. Liam Gallagher, never one to sugarcoat his opinions, once called Dylan a miserable cuck. While Gallagher worshipped the Beatles, especially Lennon, he had little patience for Dylan's brooding mystique and literary image. Though he did give a nod to Lay Lady Lay, Gallagher dismissed most of Dylan's music as dull and overrated. "He doesn't really do it for me," he said. His swipe at legacy acts playing greatest hits also felt like a jab at Dylan, who often tours with a back catalogue-heavy setlist. Gallagher's musical tastes lean toward raw, melodic rock and no-nonsense attitude. To him, Dylan's cryptic lyrics and shifting personas came off as pretentious. While Dylan played the mysterious poet, Gallagher saw only a man hiding behind metaphors. Number 1. Bob Dylan might be a Nobel laureate in literature, but that didn't impress celebrated author Kurt Vonnegut. When asked about music, Vonnegut didn't mince words. "Bob Dylan is the worst poet alive. He can maybe get one good line in a song, and the rest is gibberish." Coming from the author of Slaughterhouse-Five, this was no throwaway line. Vonnegut's criticism cuts at the heart of Dylan's legacy, his lyrics. While many praise Dylan's writing for its symbolism, imagery, and emotional power, Vonnegut saw mostly noise. Was it a matter of taste? Generational divide? Maybe, but Vonnegut's remark reflected a broader skepticism from the literary world. For some, Dylan's poetic license felt more like lyrical chaos. His status as a cross-disciplinary icon may have irked those who felt he hadn't earned a seat at the literary table.